No Rest for the Wicked is incredible. After spending 50 hours with the game and playing through 2 different builds within the past 2 weeks, I'm just in awe of how good it is. Granted, No Rest for the Wicked is still in early access, and the game is largely unfinished, but conceptually, what Moon Studios has been able to present so far is fantastic. They've effectively managed to create an amalgam of several different types of different games and merged them into one enthralling isometric Souls-like with an astounding art style and addicting gameplay loop. A loop that even includes harvesting resources, something akin to what you'd find in survival games like Valheim or Enshrouded. This is such an interesting game largely because Moon Studios could have taken the easy route and simply made a third Ori game, but instead they decided to take some serious risks by creating some twists on the Souls-like genre that have never been done before. To say this game is unique is an understatement. More fascinating still is the rate at which Moon Studios are patching the game, making balancing changes and adjustments or simply adding new features. In the first week following the early access release and responding to player feedback, they patched the game 6 times. 6 times in a week. No rest for the devs, apparently. The reason why I'm so impressed with their rapid development is because I ended up having a lot of criticisms of the game upon release, as I got through the majority of early access content within the first week, and so I had a list of criticisms that I was going to use to make a review. However, because they patched the game so many damn times, I figured I should start a new character to see if I would have a different experience, and I did. All of the major complaints I had with the game my first time through it didn't occur the second time around. And while there are still some time-consuming activities with things like inventory management, the devs are promising to make more changes to such systems by tuning them yet further. That's really the key takeaway here. While Moon Studios is listening to tons of player feedback, they're not blindly making changes that players are demanding. They're tuning their systems while still adhering to their vision. A vision that is effectively a Souls-like slot machine. What I mean by that is, the core gameplay loop involves both exploration and randomized loot in equal measure. Every treasure chest you come across can either yield some great new weapon, armor, or nothing useful at all which you can sell for money. And just like a slot machine, there's always some % chance you could win something big that will change the way you play the game. There's just enough incentive to keep the loop going, as every time you complete a run through an area and head back to town, you're bound to make one or more purchases or one more upgrade based on whatever random fortunate thing you happen to come across. It's kind of brilliant in that aspect, and something that is fairly atypical of the Souls-like genre. In other games, where the loot isn't randomized, the locations of the best weapons and armor are quickly discovered, and everyone generally conforms to a specific meta. In No Rest for the Wicked, you have to adapt and embrace the RNG chaos, Frankensteining your build as you progress through the game. In that way, everyone ends up with a relatively unique experience that doesn't get stale. And that's not to say there isn't the option to game the randomization in your favor, especially once you have enough money to do so. Once there's enough coin burning a hole in your pocket, you can buy 10 of the same weapon or armor and enchant them all in order to improve your odds of landing a specific beneficial effect, like a % heal on hit or health regeneration over time. I like the fact that the game gives you options to experiment with the randomization system in order to roll the dice in your favor. The choice to enchant a given item isn't necessary either, as common weapons without any enchantments can be slotted with 4 gems, while enchanted items can only slot 1. Don't sleep on this approach, as once you have enough gems to experiment with this, you can make some incredibly powerful weapons while avoiding the randomization of enchanting altogether. It's a really brilliant gameplay loop. Even in the game's current early access state that only features half a dozen areas to get through, the randomization of loot and increasingly difficult enemy variety keeps the gameplay from getting repetitive, and it showcases just how great a Souls-like slot machine can be. Assuming the final version of the game will have anywhere from 3 times the current number of areas or more, with more enemies, bosses, weapons, and ways you can upgrade the town, it's easy to see how No Rest for the Wicked will be a Game of the Year contender. I can't wait for more patches and updates, as the Moon Studio devs already got me hooked. As it currently stands at $40 for early access, you're already getting around 20 to 25 hours of gameplay per character, which is pretty good value given its current state. If you're a Souls-like veteran looking for something new to play, then it's a no-brainer to pick this up now, keeping in mind that balancing changes and updates are happening frequently, meaning any aspect of the game you dislike today may not function the same way tomorrow. For everyone else, keep an eye out for the final release, as No Rest for the Wicked is shaping up to absolutely be Game of the Year. Have you tried the early access version of No Rest for the Wicked? Let me know what you thought about it, or what systems you'd like to see improved. Who knows, maybe the devs will see this and consider your feedback as they continue to tune things. Anyway, thanks for watching. Now get the hell out of here.
Life itself is only a vision, a dream. Nothing exists save empty space and you. And you are but a